Hello, hello, hello. All right. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the underrated one. One of the best kept secrets on YouTube. We got another the Underrated Men's Breakfast Fellowship live. Only men come to the panel. Haven't had that in a while, so figured, hey, why not, right? Um, I want wish everybody have a good morning to y'all and your families. Let's read this out. Come enjoy a real conversation with the number one, excuse me, the number one grinder, us as the righteous ones individually. Let's make a change within ourselves and genuine being there for each other. We all we got. I got to read that again because that didn't sound right to me. That didn't sound right for the family. So let me read it again. Come and join real conversation with the number one grinder, us as the righteous ones individually. Let's make a change within ourselves and genuine being there for each other. We all we got. That came out right. That came out right. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Brother Alonso Hall, check your email. Brother Go Professor, if you want, I know it's still early in Cali time, check your text. Or send the links to your brothers to get on the panel. Only men on the panels only. Only men on the panels only. All right. Alonso Hall, what's good?
What's going on, brother?
All right. Peace to you. Hold that thought 1 second. I want you to stay right there. I'm gonna hit y'all with this intro. Then we're gonna get this the underrated men's breakfast fellowship live going. Where the hell? Oh, okay. So be right back.
Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the underrated one, the number one grinder, the best kept secret in YouTube.
Well, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome back. Welcome. Sister Crafts, good morning, good morning. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right, we welcome our brother Alonso Hall in the building. How you good morning to you, my brother. Peace to you and your family.
Peace to you and yours as well. Thank you for having me. I still got to do that chop up with you. This
When the
month is
time when the time when the, yeah when the time comes, you let me know, all right?
no
Cause I
problem.
want cause I need the full ride attention on the chopper.
Nah, I got you. Yeah, this month is a heavy month for me. I got a lot going on.
Yeah.
But thank you for having these fellowships and just letting brothers come up and address their thing. I I came in this space on Alan Roger Curry Mode 1
Right.
to make sales to men in the space, and I'm still doing that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I see some stuff that's got me worried for the future. And what do I mean when I say that? I see men who are younger who aren't becoming men. And it's difficult and dangerous because you have spaces like these where men who are 50 and 60 are not pushing the red line to have younger men feel like there's hope for the future. Right? And then you've got young women seeing young men seeing this. So I'll give you an example. I have a niece. She's 23 years old. And she likes to date men who are older than her. You know, between 25 and 35. And she's finding that a lot of these guys are driving a new Benz, but, you know, they come home and they sleep on a slice of toast. They don't have plans for the future. They don't have a retirement account, you know. And, you know, we're being led astray, right? Everybody's going to, you know, Wall Street Trapper to learn how to do crypto, but they're not really setting up plans for the future. They don't have an exit strategy, so everything is just not really coming up with a plan. And Rael said it best. If the women suddenly, you know, somebody Thanos snaps, and, you know, the problem for women, these men aren't having anymore, what is their plan? And it's just crickets. So I think what we need as men is more people like you who are, yeah, we understand that, you know, I'm not blaming everything on the men, but at the end of the day, you're like, man, if you're going to be complaining, you got to fix it. Right? And so I think, you know, people like you for coming up and just having fellowship, allowing men to come up and talk, but at the same time, you're like, okay, you've talked out the problem. Now, me, the number one grinder, I want to get y'all some solutions. You know, and that's what you've been on. So I appreciate you for that.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the compliment, because I don't get in this space. I don't get compliments like that. So it comes from you. I greatly appreciate it. I do have an underrated men's talk that I have for a long time that I'm gonna put you on that too. Why I create this, I want to let you know that, and then you're gonna talk more about that. You can ask me more questions about that when we do the chopper together. In the near future. Yes, Brother Alonzo Hall is going to chop it up with me on the Doctor Roundtable on my channel very soon, but he got a lot of obligations. He, you know, he into life insurance, so we got a lot of responsibilities. And matter of fact, I pack our people, so we got to respect that. But why I do this, because there are men that are vulnerable in the morning. They don't have nobody they could talk to. And also, I found out too that I did my digging. Sometimes you can get some you can get things done in the morning, and also there are a lot of Jews that you could pass out and help people in the morning. Let's see, us as men, a lot of resources is out there. So I figured that that's part of the reason that I create this for the men too, and also to find solutions. We can have fun, but at the same time, I want men to know that you do have a purpose. PCUC stay sleep. Check your email or check your text if you want to get on PCUC stay sleep. So the most important to me, I want to bridge the gap between the younger one and the older ones, older brothers, to understand this is the spot to come to find solutions, whatever it is. And even like we can find a certain of finance, but also I want to be respected. I want to be respected what I do to help other brothers. And I feel that it's at the same time, we got to understand we are dying. You know that, and I know that. We don't have to have a long conversation. So what I'm trying to revive us as men.
No, I agree. and I think it's necessary. And speaking of in the morning, that's absolutely true. I think it's a great way for especially men to start off our day, right? We do have it hard out here. So it is good to see some positive stuff in the morning, start your day off, set up some goals, and kind of go, as opposed to waiting 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon to finally, get a bump of positive energy.
Sure. So before we continue, brother Alonso, I meant to ask you this the last time that you came in the channel, to the panel. If there's anything happening, in finance that us as black may need to jump on, and plus the families.
Oh yeah, I mean, to be honest, one of the things, like, I hear, you know, a lot of people jumping on trends. Oh, this new meme stock or this new, Bitcoin. And while that's good, what I want brothers to know, especially the younger brothers, is you have to have a plan. When it comes to finance, when it comes to investing, you don't just put your money in there and get happy when it goes up and cash out when it goes up because it went up. And you have to have a strategy. So in investing, there's something called a time horizon. So what that means is, just like with the young boys who want to go sell dope, they have a time frame. Oh, I'm going to do this for 5 years and then I'm going to get out. It's the same thing with investing. The average time horizon on investments is 20 years. So you need to be saying, okay, I'm going to put my money in Amazon while I'm 22. When I'm 42, I'm going to pull out, right? Whatever it is there. I promise you that at 42, it will have gone up and down, but you'll either break even or you'll have a small win. The average increase on portfolios over the course of 20 years is about 10%. So, people thinking, oh, I'm going to get rich off of Bitcoin. Just because you made $50 this week, $1,000, that's not really coming up. When you're talking about investing, it's a game of pennies, yes, but those pennies are thousands of dollars at a time. The average investment minimum is $10,000. So when people are talking about, oh, I put $100 here and $500 there, come up with a 10-year plan first. Because what's your plan if it goes through the roof? Oh, I'm rich now. I can go buy all the Mercedes Benzes I wanted. Is that what we're looking at? Or is there a strategy? I'll give you an example. I have a client who is from YouTube, who is what they call a passport bro, right? But he's not what they call mongers in the passport bros, where these guys are just going overseas for the weekend, spending money on some chicken in overseas, salute Black John, and then coming home and sleeping on a piece of toast. This guy has it set up. We have it set up where, yeah, the slice of toast is funny, right? That's a mattress with no frame or nothing. But, and DJ Black Charm, you look like a brother who understands that brothers need to come up with this plan. So my man, he put away $500,000 with me in an investment in a retirement account, so that 10 years from now, when he's 52, because he's 42 right now, when he's 52, he's going to take that cash. It will have accumulated. I can't remember. We did the exact math. I don't know what the exact number is now, but it's an exact amount where he's going to take that money and purchase a house in Colombia, because he has a plan, not just a willy-nilly, oh, I saved up some money, whatever. He's got a plan that in 10 years, I'm going to move to Colombia. I don't like the women here in America. Okay, I'm going to move to Colombia and live there, so that it's not just me being a Jonathan or a trick and spending money and thinking that these women are treating me some type of way because they're treating me some type of way, as opposed to I have American dollars. I'll stop there. What's up, Black John?
Oh man, peace, man. I'm following you. I'm tracking you as the one brother on YouTube. He said, I'm tracking you. I'm keeping up. I agree. I agree totally. Like, so from my perspective on just being a young man going into a middle-aged man. I'm not an old man yet, you know what I'm saying, but going into a middle-aged man, what I learned was, off talking about what you're talking about, like people look at a lot of stuff as a hustle, you know what I'm saying? But those hustles can turn to it can turn to something positive in a career and successful if people are attentive. You know what I'm saying? To say that, like what you was talking about, your man looking at a house, a spot in Columbus, Columbia, South America, or whatever, And somebody put me up on game about Dominican Republic to as far as like, a lot of people go down there for touring and stuff like that. And Cat was like, man, I'm gonna get me some speed boats, some little motorboats or speed motorboats, or little water bikes, and dock them. And you can make money doing that. And I'm looking at that, I'm like, so dang. Other than just traveling, like you say, for the thrill, for the trick off, you know what I'm saying? You can travel to understand what type of investment you can make around the world. So not only will you be empowering yourself or people around you, you'll be empowering the country that you're going to, and you know what I'm saying, have a global come up. But I guess that's a certain person. You have to be exposed to certain things. You know what I'm saying? Certain conversations, and that's why I like JT with these men sit down. Like, it may not be a lot of people immediately, but the playback. You know what I'm saying? The folk that come back to pick up the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's needed. It's needed for you to Alonzo to say, you know what I'm saying, need a plan. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to look at real estate people and say they making money on buying. They got a little house. They put $10,000 on a lien property or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm gonna come up. But what happens when that slow down? Did you actually create a business, or would you only use it as a temporary hustle to feed yourself at the moment? And that's you know what I'm saying? That's one thing too. Because a lot of folk may look at the come up as a forever come up and not understanding they only did it to feed themselves at the moment. They only took that risk because the rent needed to be paid. They didn't really want to invest in Bitcoin like that or invest into that restaurant like that. They saw a quick flip. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's dangerous playing around with the quick flip, because there's really no plan in it. It's like all risk, in my opinion. It's all risk. It's not really a plan. Like, you see people talking about they invested some money in Bitcoin and their return was this. They invested some money in real estate. Their return was this. They invested money in gold and silver and their return. But, all that stuff is like all risk, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, no real plan behind it, because if you strike gold, what's next? After you strike gold. But I'll stop right there.
No, I completely agree with you, Black Charm. That's
Okay.
one of the things that I look at, and it's important to especially as Black men, we have to kind of be very, very diligent in even things like investments, right? Because the difficulty is, like I actually worked on Wall Street, right? My office was 100 Broadway, 39 Broadway, and 11 Broadway. Like, I literally walk out the building and grab the brass bull by the balls, right? Like the Asians do. And that's supposed to be a sign of wealth creation, right? But one thing is that we don't have that, like you said, Black Charm, that plan, right? And what ends up happening is we go into stuff for a quick flip, right? So, like, I have my New York State real estate license as well. And I got it in 2017. But before, in 2013, when I was doing fix and flips, yeah, it was, oh, hey, this quick flip. But man, let me tell you, I tell people, like, if you're going to do something, actually do it. There's a lot of men who, like you said, will get into the hustle. Oh, I don't need my real estate license. I can just get into this. Oh, I don't need my securities license. I can just trade options. First of all, options traders, the ones who have their license and been doing it, 95% of the time they fail. And this is with an understanding of the laws and workings of it. I'm not saying that you absolutely have to have the license to go into it and make some money, but in order to actually know what you're doing and going, it's just like if I was to be playing basketball, right? And I go and I dunk on a guy at the YMCA that I go to here, and he's 6'8", 260 pounds, just like LeBron James, and I dunk on his head. So then I say, oh, you know what? They got the Drew League coming. I'm gonna go dunk on LeBron. I just dunked on somebody who's 6'8", and then I go try to dunk on LeBron, and he blocks my soul, right? Because
Let me ask you
he
a question, Lonzo.
yes.
Let me ask you a question right there. When you said 90%, right, is gonna have a hard time. I guess I think you used the word fail. You know what I'm saying? But the 10% that succeeds, what? So are they? Is it total success? Or are they just succeeding? Maybe like understanding, succeeding. Maybe like getting a better business partner, or maybe landing a job at Remax or something. That's what you mean by the 10%. Yeah,
So let me clarify, because I'm in a bunch of different fields. So I'm in financial services, in insurance, retirement, and investments, and I also do real estate. So they're two separate things. So like Remax, what have you, that's something different. What I mean by fail is I'm talking about options traders and stockbrokers and things like that. So 90% of the time, listen, this is the hot pick, and it's not. You're not going to get that many Googles. You're not going to get that many AMCs and GameStops. The guy who blew the whistle on AMC and GameStop was literally just a life insurance agent at Mass Mutual. And he got tired of being screwed out of his commissions by Mass Mutual. So he started dropping his knowledge on Reddit and YouTube, The Roaring Kitty and Deep Effing Value, right? So, but 90% of the time, people with their licenses, we get commission whether you make money or not. So when we tell you, hey, this trade is great, and you lose your $27,000 you just invested, well, 7,000 of that goes to my pocket whether you make money or not. So a lot of the time, a lot of these traders, day traders, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Vanguard, they end up losing your money. Right? But most people aren't even invested enough to really have it make a difference. Like I said, the
so
minimum
how do we
investment.
become those people? Like as Black people, how do we become those people who you just named? Say they gonna lose your money. Them people gonna lose. You might win sometimes, but they gonna lose your money. So how do we become like? I ain't saying that we need to be losing people's money. I ain't saying
No, I get
that.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. How do you become? Well, you do like me. I'm one of those people, right? So you go through, you get the licensure, you get sponsored by a company, and you start doing the work. The work is maybe not, the prettiest initially, right? Which is why you have people like
You mean like getting clients and stuff?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's not easy, especially in our community, because it's hard to listen. Like, prime example, I got a video on my channel screaming about Wall Street Trapper charging people $3,500 for a console, and he's not licensed in anything, right? And people are like, oh, well, he's made a bunch of Black people money, and I'm like, no, he really hasn't. Yeah, a broken clock can be right twice a day. So, the problem is this. There's no recourse. So if his stock recommendations, right, end up losing you a bunch of money, there's nothing you can do about it. Whereas if you come to a financial advisor, there's recourse. They can lose their license. You can sue. Shit, I got sued for $1 million over a life insurance policy. She won 410 grand, right? So, and the woman's still alive. She's not dead, right? But this is the type of stuff that there's recourse about. Now, how do we as Black men get there? You got to go through the coursework. People be like, I don't need to get my insurance license. I mean, my real estate license, like I was saying. That's like dunking on the guy at the Y who's 6'8", and then going to the Drew League and thinking you're going to dunk on LeBron, right? LeBron James is going to hurt your feelings because he actually does this. The guy who's 6'8" at the Y happens to just play pickup games on the weekends, right?
Wait, that's heavy right there, man. That's heavy.
You have to actually go and get the licensure. So real estate, go get your real estate license. Don't be one of these fix and flip guys, right? Insurance, go get your insurance license. Don't be one of these Primerica guys. Investments, go get your actual securities licenses. Don't be one of these, oh, I trade Forex guys. Next time someone tells you they trade Forex, ask them if they have a Series 3 or a Series 4. If they mention a BMW, run. Because the Series 3 is a securities license that allows you to trade futures and commodities, right? And foreign exchange currencies or currencies. So these are things that, again,
Man, I need to sub to your channel, please. 1 second.
Matter of fact, DJ. Matter of fact, on DJ Plug, put something in the chat. Alonso, put something in the chat. But I want to ask you something, Alonso, brother Alonso. What about the ones? What about the brothers sisters on disability? Do they have any stock of any investment they can get in and prosper stuff like that? Because I hear everybody. Is that if I asking the question right and everything?
Well,
what
depends.
kind of options for a person that can't really move around, like go from door to door, if you will, to get clients, you know what I'm saying, to go to certain seminars and stuff? Like, what could they do?
Well, let me break one question at a time. For Underrated, there's a lot of investment wise, it's difficult with disabilities, depending on your involvement with the Social Security Administration. So like, I know for people on disability, Social Security wants them in poverty. Like, they don't want them to have anything often. But you do have options, and some people on disability don't have to be impoverished. So you have full options to, invest. Or get insurance or retirement accounts. A lot of these things, a lot of quote unquote investment, to be honest, most people shouldn't even have the word invest in their lexicon. Generally, we like to deal with accredited investors. So as an accredited investor, a lot of those things are exactly what Kevin Samuels broke down as a high value man. What do I mean when I say that? In order to really come to a stockbroker or go to Fidelity or go to Charles Schwab and invest, you need to be an accredited investor. So you need to have about $500,000 to do anything with to start. Secondly, you need to have been making at least $250,000 for the past 3 years, expected to make it the following year. If you're a single person, if you're married, it's $350,000, right? That's just to be an accredited investor to really go in and invest. Again, the minimum amount of investment. So you'll hear people like Dave Ramsey saying, buy term life insurance and invest the difference, which is terrible advice, because a financial advisor knows the minimum investment is $10,000. $10,000 happens to break down to be $834 a month. So you're telling me somebody who can't afford $200 a month on forget cash value, just on the life insurance policy itself, can't afford $200 a month, is now going to quote unquote invest the rest. Literally, what you would be telling people is, hey, you're in a canoe and it's sinking. I got these here 5-gallon buckets that you really should be bailing the water out with, but don't worry about that. Take this here thimble from Monopoly, and you're gonna bail the water out from your boat with this thimble from Monopoly. You're gonna drown, while the guys using the 5-gallon buckets are at least gonna be able to float back to shore. That coffee look good, Underrated. Is what I'm saying making sense, Black John?
Yeah, it's making sense, because you saying, like, okay, the guy who got the little boat, he's able to just be over the $800 a month mark in investment. You know what I'm saying? But the guy who got disability, who only got $200 left over, that money is gonna be lost. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not enough for, you know what I'm saying? It's not it won't make the $10,000 mark. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the year, you way off. you know what I'm saying, on the mark you want to make as far as your investment, you know. And so then and now I think you put yourself in a bind by, you know what I'm saying, following those see I you know, like $200 that you know that's what roughly like what $2,400 a year. So you're talking about $2,000 for the year. With that's hard to even think of something to invest in for, you know what I'm saying, for that little money. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Now, here's the
really
thing.
small money.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not discouraging people from doing it, and that's why I like robo advisors like Stash and Acorn, right? What it does, especially for Black folks, is it gives us the ability to actually get into, you know what I'm saying, the investment and stock market, because a lot of that stuff was blocked from us as the
Yeah,
people, right?
that's true.
So to allow to get rid of that barrier to entry, that's why I like some of that stuff. But a lot of that stuff is dangerous because, you know, then word of mouth and, you know, underrated, you'll be like, hey, look, I just invested in ABC, and then you'll tell Black Charm. And when you're looking at investments, everybody's investment strategy is going to be completely different and custom.
Different.
It's just like everybody drinks coffee, right? But everybody don't drink coffee the same. I might need, you know, 8 sugars, whereas you drink your coffee black. But if you go to the coffee shop and say, hey, I'm ordering coffee for everybody, and you order the coffee the way you drink it for everybody, not everybody's gonna like that coffee. And that's
That's
what
real.
happens, especially in our community, when we talk amongst each other about investing.
And also, I want to ask you this other question, Brother Alonso, and also DJ Black John. You can get. Let me make this announcement. Welcome to my channel, the Underrated Darkness. Your truth is the Underrated Darkness. We got Brother Alonso Hall, DJ Black John. Any man, any man that wants to join the panel, let me know. You send me an email, and I will send the link to the panel to your email, and you can get on. That's how you're gonna get on. Okay. That's how this is the Underrated Men's Breakfast Fellowship Live. So this is men's talk. We talk about finance, but we can talk about other stuff too. And I want to get into health insurance in a few minutes, if you don't mind. You don't mind, we talk about that. But the question I want to ask you, Brother Alonso, you've been in here, you've been in this, you've been in finance for a long time, and I've been like watching TV. Not all the time, but I be seeing lately that CNN, MSNBC, and they talk about investments and they talking about the prices going up and this happening right here and in retail and stuff like that. But to tell the truth, in this space, we don't hear stuff like that. I'm talking about what they talking about. They talking about like another thing. But you break it down so good, so we actually really know. And my question for you: why are they not break? Why are they not saying it? But they supposed to be quote unquote experts.
Money, right? To be honest, me being so honest has probably lost me more money than it's made me, because most Americans want to know very little about this stuff. They just kind of want to give their money and think it comes back. Finance is an emotional thing. So when you're looking at things like, especially when you're looking at like tickers or charts, right? Tickers being, you know, the little symbols that scroll down the bottom of your screen, right? Those are emotional. And what happens is they know that people, when they see the chart with the line going up, you act emotionally because I think I'm making some money. So, you know, most people have no clue what those charts mean, why they are what they are, so on and so forth. And when I say most people, I mean people who work in these arenas and hold their licensure, right? So what chance do you, an average person who ain't never learned what these charts mean or how to read them have against the guy who at least knows how to read them, but doesn't quite understand, the power behind the product that he offers, right? So a lot of these guys aren't going to tell you stuff because it makes it easier for us to make money. Like
Right.
if they told you, right, about Ronald Reagan telling everybody that they need to get a life insurance policy because a life insurance policy would pay more than they had Social Security.
Right.
Like if I told you that your 401k you can put a max of 20,500 in, but you could do alert, which is a life insurance retirement plan, which is better than a Roth IRA because it grows tax free and tax deferred. And there's no maximum of with which you can put in. So you can put in 22,000, 50,000, right? But they don't want you to know this. They want you to do a 401k, right? They want you to do a 401k instead of an IRA, an annuity, because a 401k pays out period certain. So let's look at math real quick. This is why you see the 70-year-old lady working at Walmart. She has her 401k. She retires at 65. And most people only have about $65,000 in their retirement account and don't understand they have to live the rest of their life off of that money. Right? So let's say she has, let's do an easy math, $120,000 in her 401k when she retires at 65.
Right.
So that's $1,000 a month or $12,000 a year for 10 years. So from 65 to 75, she's got $1,000 a month. At 75, that $120,000 that she put in that 401k is gone, spent. So now she has to go back to work at Walmart because people are living longer, right? Now, if you get a properly structured pension plan or a life insurance retirement plan or an annuity, which is another life insurance contract, let's say you get an annuity, that same 120k, that same $12,000 a year for 10 years. Now you're 75 and the money that you put in is gone. Well, because it's an insurance contract and it's an annuity, it pays you till death. So you're gonna get that $12,000 a year every year until the day you die, even though the 120,000 you put in is gone. That's why they gear you toward a 401k.
Right.
I get paid more off of setting up your company's 401k than I do setting you up alert privately. So why would I, as a person who doesn't care, why would I set you guys up with a good retirement plan? Screw it, I'll just go make my $50,000 commission and everybody will think they have a good retirement plan, and 30 years from now, they ain't gonna remember I'm the guy who sat in their work office with Dunkin' Donuts.
So is it like so a lot of those people like Jay Ramsey and all those channels and stuff, so are they really just flexing towards each other then? Like, cause they like, if you like you say, if they comfortable with just setting up, folks company for real, making that real money, and they on it when they on the internet, they ain't giving you the real deal, like you breaking it down or whatever. So they, in other words, to me, it just sounds like, they flexing towards each other, like the people that's set up, that understand the language or whatever, and for the layman, you know what I'm saying? You listening to it like myself, I listen to it and I buy into it all day because I'm subscribed to that channel. You know what I'm saying? And I be like, dang, this cat know how to make a person a million now. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had that to invest what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? But it sound good. Yeah, it sound real good, but it don't, like, it only sounds good to me because even though he's speaking English, it's still a foreign language because he's talking about, people investing in the tax bracket that I'm no part of,
So yeah, like one of the worst concepts out there, and a lot of financial advisors live behind this is buy term, invest the difference. But if term insurance were so much better, there wouldn't be a convertibility option. Every term policy, every company will call you after, let's say 10 years and say, hey, do you want to convert some or all of your term life insurance to a whole life insurance? So why wouldn't you start with the thing that you're going to end up with anyway?
That's
right?
true. Mm-hmm.
Like, that's like saying, hey, do you want to get this bike with training wheels? Well, no, because I'm eventually going to be riding a bike without training wheels. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the training wheels at all, you know? Um, but Dave Ramsey, so here's the thing. Buy term, invest the difference is still all of these concepts are very good concepts, right? If used properly. Just like one of the concepts I sell on is the internet banking concept with life insurance. And I'm just talking life insurance right now. I'm not talking investments or retirement. I won't talk investments unless we're on an actual paid consult. Like you'll have to pay me and then we can sit and talk investments because there's a lot of liability there for me. Like I said, I got sued for $1 million and she won 410 grand. I'll never be in that position again. So in those circumstances, in order for me to talk investments, it's got to be during a paid consult.
I hear you. I hear you. Right. I hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what? That shit hurts. I'm never going to, excuse my language, but I'm never going to be put in that position again. So, sorry for everybody in the future, but $410,000 sings.
Yeah, that's a learning lesson, and I see a lot of people. I started watching this channel the other day, and this guy, he was talking about putting 5,000 in the bank, let it sit for a minute, and then go to the bank and get a loan for 50. You know, and he was like, "I'm not telling you to do this. I'm not a financial advisor," and you know what I'm saying. He was going through all the diatribes of, you know what I'm saying, of protecting himself. You know what I'm saying, because I guess apparently if you give out financial advice, people can sue you. Say, he told me to invest this. He told me to make this move with my money. Now my life is in the shambles, And I'm like, dang, they could do that? People could actually like sue you
Well,
for taking your advice.
that's only if you have the licenses, right? So like when you see people like Wall Street Trapper, and nothing against him, he gives some sound advice, but you got to realize if you take a loss, you can't sue him.
Okay.
Right? Now, someone like me who has their licenses, right? That's why you'll still see me say, oh, this is not financial advice. In order to get that advice, you got to have a paid consult with me, because then it changes the legality of it. Now that it's during a consult, so you've sought that advice, right? So like a lot of the stuff I'm saying is just surface level, right? It's not going to be specific. Like I wouldn't, if you were to say, hey, specifically for me, can I do AB? I'd say we have to have a consult. But if you say, hey, if a guy's 40 and such, I can give that kind of advice and say, hey, well, a guy who's 40 who is doing ABC, he could do, this, right? Now, if you take it upon yourself to go do it, there's no recourse against me because I didn't tell you specifically to go do ABC. You see what I'm saying? But even like that, first of all, the minimum investment realistically is 10 grand. So if anybody tells you to take 5 grand and do something, you're not really investing. You also need to look at what's called risk tolerance. See, I wish I was on my computer so I could pull up my screen and show y'all some of these things. You got to look at risk tolerance, right? And this is why I feel dangerous for like meme stocks or, people starting these quote unquote investment clubs and stuff, because like I said, everything is custom, right? So what ends up happening is something you invest in might have been decent for you and your risk tolerance, but not me and my risk tolerance. What is risk tolerance? Well, we're all 3 grown men. If I say, hey, DJ Black, give me $10,000 to invest. Hey, Underrated, give me $10,000 to invest, right? Now, you and Underrated both have two different lifestyle situations, right? Underrated, you're a single man with no children, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, DJ Black, you might be married with 4 kids, right? So for Underrated, right? His loss of $10,000, that just affects him, and that's $10,000 that he had just set aside. So I come back to him tomorrow. Hey, you know that 10,000 we put on Disney? Yeah. Well, the new Black Panther movie didn't do as good as we thought it was, so you lost your whole $10,000. Oh, plus you owe me $2,500 for commission. Sorry, right? He might just be like, oh well, I'll save up another 10,000. Now you, on the other hand, DJ Black, right? You got a wife and 4 kids. You lose that $10,000. Now you got to go tell your wife, hey, I can't pay the mortgage for the next 2 months, and the kids gonna have to eat Lunchables for the next 2 months. And the vacations we wanted to go on this year ain't gonna happen because your risk tolerance is different, and that loss of $10,000 impacted you way different than it impacted the Underrated. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where stuff like meme stock, AMC, even people like Dave Ramsey, it gets very dangerous. Dave Ramsey and Sue Zorman, are you familiar with Sue Zorman?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
are.
yeah.
You familiar with Sue Zorman too? Yeah. So they
Yes.
don't have their licenses, right? Now, I belong to a group called the Breakaway League, which is an elite group of financial services professionals. And we actually, one of us snuck onto Dave Ramsey's show and challenged him because, he's telling all his followers buy term insurance, which is, again, term insurance is great for what it's great for, but it's terrible for what it's terrible for, right? Prime example, when your term insurance ends, right? Let's say you're young and you're healthy and you're 25 and you get a policy. And let's say you get a 20-year policy. So now you're 45 and your policy's done and your kids are grown. So supposedly you're not supposed to need life insurance anymore because rich people don't live off of OPM, which is other people's money, because rich people do live off of OPM. That's why Warren Buffett isn't leaving any of his kids anything. He got life insurance, right? So then at 45, your health is not what it was when you were 25 and had a six-pack. Now you've drank a couple of six-packs and you've got a keg and you smoked some cigarettes and you've been to the doctor a couple of times and now you got the gout. So now that life insurance is much more expensive. Now you're wanting it because, well, God forbid I die, I want to leave something to my spouse. And now I've got grandkids too. I want to leave something for my grandkids. Or, now I've become religious. I want to leave some money to the church too. Oh, well, now I'm 45, and because Dave Ramsey told me to only buy a term and invest the difference, I invested the difference, but they won't tell you that you need a 20% return to even match the return you get on life insurance. See, they don't tell you about the 2 and 20 fees that financial advisors like me charge. 2 and 20 being 2% of your net worth annually and 20% of your capital gains. So you earn $1,000 in your investment. You owe me $200 off of that, or 20%. Oh, by the way, you also have to pay capital gains taxes, which is another 20%. So you've given away 40% of your money. So you came up $1,000, and now you only got $600 because you got to pay me 20% and the federal government 20%. But it sounds
that not see. My cousin went through that. My grandma put life insurance on them, and they survived the life term with them. And so she got the money, and she they had money. They could have, I guess, put it back into their own kids or whatever. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But they chose to take the money and cash out. And so I never got that type of insurance. I got whole life. I never got that term.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got whole life because I always thought like, man, like I plan on surviving 25 years and stuff like that, but I don't want to cash out. I want to keep it going. So, I invest in whole life.
Yeah, whole life. Well, here's the thing. So I have issues with whole life as well. I sell investment grade life insurance. So I sell index universal life. It's attached to the S&P 500. So I don't personally like term life or whole life. Here's why I don't like whole life, right? You shouldn't be paying for life insurance for your whole life. Right? It shouldn't be a payment that you're paying until you're dead. You just shouldn't. Right? And agents understand this, right? You should only be paying for your life insurance for 10, 20, 30 years, just like a term policy, which is why they tell you buy term, invest the difference. Why do they tell you buy term? Because here's the thing. There's a Yahoo Finance article, and it explains, and, I speak very blackety black on things. I'm pro-black. I'm not, anti anything else, but I can only speak from what I am, which is a black man.
Right.
So that's my major concern, is me and people who look like me. But money is green, so I'll take everybody's money. But
Real talk.
But there's a Yahoo Finance article that says that black people buy life insurance more than white people because we believe in the power of passing on generational wealth. The difficulty is we buy life insurance wrong. What do I mean when I say that? So most black folk will get in a situation where they buy a life insurance policy and the death benefit is 1 to maybe 2 times their annual income. Yet we talk about generational wealth. This is another reason why term insurance is very popular, because it's cheap, right? So the average American makes $50,000 a year and will get a $100,000 death benefit. Now, the average funeral in America is $21,000. So if you get $100,000, right, and now you take 21,000 of that, leaving your family with 79,000, that's only 1 year's worth of your income. The experts will explain that you need to leave generally between 10 to 20 years worth of your income. So if you make $50,000 a year, and let's say you have one child who's the age that's under 24, just like your health insurance, your child should be on your health insurance if they go to college until they're 24. You need life insurance is to protect and provide a lifestyle that you bust your ass going to work for every day. So if you make $50,000 a year, you need $1 million death benefit. Why? Because 50,000 times 20, which is 20 years of the lifestyle that you worked for, is to be left. 50,000 times 20 is $1 million. So just to simply leave your family in a decent position, you would buy $1 million term policy, because $1 million whole life policy may be expensive at 40. Right? But that's not how to create the generational wealth. How do you create generational wealth? You live off of the interest. So a financial advisor, that's why I call myself the all-star advisor, because an all-star advisor like myself is going to say, okay, so you make $50,000 a year and you want to leave generational wealth. So that means you want to leave $50,000 a year forever. So let's go to Google, and please do this. Go to Google and type in high yield savings accounts. You'll find that it's Marcus Millichap, aka Goldman Sachs, with 0.5% interest yield. Now you might find a local credit union, that has a higher rate. I'm in Connecticut, so I don't know where people are in the world while they're doing this live time in Google, but you'll all find Marcus Millichap, aka Goldman Sachs, with a 0.5 or 0.6% interest rate. APY, annual percentage yield. So that you would get a $10 million death benefit. And then, God forbid, when you die, your family would get $10 million, but they wouldn't go balling. They'd come see a financial advisor and say, hey, roll this $10 million into this money market account. What is 0.5% of $10 million? It happens to be 50,000. So now you leave that $10 million in that money market account forever, and your family just lives off of $50,000 a year of the interest. See, this is what the wealthy do. This is what JT was asking. Why aren't they telling us how to do that? Because they don't want a bunch of wealthy people. They only want the wealthy to remain wealthy. I'll stop there and let you ask questions.
Yeah, I'm looking that up now. I just went to a site that says 10 best CDs of 2022. I had actually clicked on what you said. Click on. Let me go back. High yield savings account.
And what's the name again?
High yield savings accounts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just clicking on them now, and they was talking about. So I just give off a brief of what I'm looking at. It says best savings and CDs options 2022. What type of account are you looking for? And it gave option savings account, no time restriction. Then the next option is CDs, certified deposits, fixed interest rates for a set amount of time.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
CDs are very safe, but they're garbage. They're gonna have maybe a 2% yield. But CDs, I'd rather get a mutual fund. What you want to look at is savings accounts or MMA, money market account. So high yield savings or money market accounts. The money market accounts, you might see 1%.
Could you put that in the chat, please, so people can?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Okay.
And they got Chime up here, so Chime is a good place to partner with, huh?
Yeah.
Chime is an online bank, so those like Charm and Ally, I don't really speak on those too heavily because they're not physical banks, right? So like you can't. There's a lot of stuff and restrictions that kind of go away from them because they don't have brick and mortar locations. They don't have certain reserve requirements. I don't think they're FDIC insured. So but there's nothing wrong with it. No. Give me 1 second. Let me type this in the chat.
Okay.
Or actually, you know what? Let me just pull up my tablet and I'll type it in the chat through my tablet. So I don't have to switch screen. But yeah, so the high yield savings accounts, and like I said, yeah, go ahead and look at them live time. I think that's a good idea to do. Let me do like this.
Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to email some stuff off. I'm doing some work at the same
No, don't
time.
worry about it. Don't worry about it.
High yield.
I'm taking care of some things myself. Oh, let me put this out there. I will do a chop up tonight on Miss Melina. That's on 9:35 on this channel. I will chop it up. Miss Melina will chop it up with me on the Darkness Round Table, 9:35 tonight. I want you to got it. I want you to check that out. Got it.
All right, so I just put that in the chat. The high yield savings and the money market account. So like I said, if you put a high yield savings, you'll find an APY, which is an annual percentage yield, right? Now get this, right? They'll tell you to go after the APY, which is 0.5%. So math-wise, that means if you put $100 in Goldman Sachs, you got to leave it there for a year to earn 50 cents, right? Now get this. Whole life insurance at the worst case scenario, and this is just regular whole life, grows at a monthly compound interest rate of 2%, right? So they're telling you to buy a term policy and invest the difference so you can get annual percentage and go to Goldman Sachs and get this bank account. Meanwhile, your life insurance that you got, DJ Black, is growing at, if you put $100 a month there, you're getting $2 a month off of that $100. Would you rather $2 a month or 50 cents a year in earnings? Most people, I know he's multitasking and doing work. Most people would rather $2 a month, right, in earnings. But again, they're not going to tell you to do that. They're gonna tell you, listen, man, put $25 a month into this here mutual fund. If you ain't putting 10,000, you're literally canoeing your boat out with a thimble instead of a 5-gallon water bucket. You know, if you bailing 5 gallons of water, you're gonna get some water out. But that little thimble from Monopoly, you ain't gonna get no water out.
That's true. That's true. Now, another question. We know the holidays is coming up here now. If people want to save money, tell them how they should save money throughout the holidays. Because you know people gonna be blowing money. Black Friday's as you know and I know. So explain to us how we should save money for a rainy day throughout the holidays.
So this is the problem with a lot of financial professionals. We're great at teaching people how to quote unquote save money. Where we struggle and where we're terrible is teaching people how to spend money. The problem is not saving money. The problem is spending money. And people have incorrect spending habits. They tend to, during these times, overspend, and we tend to live above our means. So one of the things that
I just did that. I just did that. Like, yeah, cause I'm trying to play the credit game. Like my sister, everybody, not everybody around me, but a lot of people in that community that's in my family, they play the game so well, you know. And I tried to call myself doing it, you know what I'm saying, like borrowing against my credit, leveraging my credit against my cash and all that. Now I found myself in, I'm not in a bind, but I feel like it's a bind because I'm like, you know what, I got to get these few grand situated, you know what I'm saying, so I can be back on my the playing field I was on when I first started this. Because now these few grand is like plaguing me in a sense. I feel like I'm losing. I may not be losing, but I just feel like I'm losing because I don't want to spend anymore. And I'm like, you know what, I gotta live under my means. So I'm like, nah, we can't go out this week, y'all. We can't, you know what I'm saying, we can't, cause you know, and I'm afraid, you know.
Yeah, it's a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I said, one of the things is it's less about saving and it's more about spending. And it's really just, you know, your spending habits. So here's one of my favorite things, right? Because again, a lot of financial professionals, especially young ones, you know, and when I say young, I mean 40 and under, you know, we have this whole, oh, you know, don't waste your money on Jordans, buy the Jordan stock. And that's the worst financial advice ever, right? Again, if you're buying the Jordan stock and you're not buying the Jordans, the stock of Jordan becomes worthless. So my thing is this, especially in my field, we're label whores just like everybody else. You don't think you don't think I'm wearing Burberry for no reason, right? So, like, you know, I have to look a certain way too to attract a certain clientele, right? So with that, I tell people this: instead of, you know, buying 4 pairs of Jordans a month, buy 3 pairs of Jordans. And the money you save on that 4th pair of Jordans is what you're going to invest. When you invest that, we're going to make sure that with that investment, you can buy 3 pairs of Jordans every month for the rest of your life. Instead of having 5 summers where you bought 4 pairs of Jordans. Right? A lot of advisors will just tell you, don't buy Jordans, just buy the Jordan stock. And again, your stock is worthless without the product, right? So yeah, it's just about, you know, reeling in your spending habits, trying to live, you know, comfortably, but not above your means. But 90% of America lives above our means. That's why we have things like mortgages, right? and you know, 10-year car notes, right? So, you know, don't keep up with the Joneses, right? But maybe be the Joneses, right?
Say that again, with the Joneses. Don't keep up with the Joneses, but wait, your phone broke up.
I said, don't keep up with the Joneses, but maybe be the Joneses.
That's what's up. And yeah, see, I asked that question because throughout the years, and I want to jump. I want your brothers to elaborate on this too. I seen a lot of us being broken, and then even like when they get the new year, that they always say New Year resolution. We don't have nothing to fall back on because we spending money like crazy, and we buy things that we already have. And that's
Mm.
when I asked that question because I see it myself. There's that I could have had a TV. I could have had a big screen TV this past Christmas. That's Christmas. I could have had 55-inch for like $40 and everything, but I already got a 32. So I said I'm gonna have to save this money for a rainy day in case if I need something to do, I could do. And I think that we should have more talks like that throughout the holiday. Matter of fact, I'm thinking like this, and DJ Black Charm, and I want to know: is it possible that we should? Start off as men, then I'm going to branch out with this. I think we should. We should have a live to talk about how we should spend money for the holiday for us as a people. But we're going to start off as men. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to branch out to the general space in here, and I want your two brothers to join that too. How did that sound to you?
And man,
That
to
sounds
me it
good to me.
sounds great, right? It sounds real good, right? Cause I be wanting a big screen for my man cave down here from the other side of my studio. I got a nice size house. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
then, this kid need a laptop. That one need an iPad. This one needs, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know what? So I have to, you know what I'm saying, the sacrifices for them. Because it's like, but I do want to be able to sit back and look at a brand new 4K 65-inch, you know what I'm saying, and drink some Kool-Aid, But, I guess it's the like throughout the year, you know what I'm saying? I guess you can kind of make that sacrifice, but then you got like doctor's appointment, medicines, you know what I'm saying, and all that other kind of stuff. So, that's why I be saying, you know what I'm saying, I kind of like, to me, it's like taking a risk, a liability risk, Alonzo, because it's like once I buy that 65-inch, it don't have any value, you know what I'm saying, besides sitting on my wall and appeasing me to look at it, you know what I'm saying? So,
Because you know what I asked, it was one time, right? I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna. Oh, I thought I had the camera. Underrated. Everybody gonna give you the real here. I ain't gonna lie. I was at Walmart. I had some money. Underrated I had some change in my pocket. I would say had some change, and I see this 55-inch. I ain't gonna lie. It was only at Walmart. It was only $300.
you went for
No, I was.
it.
They were calling me and saying, big screen, you got a PlayStation. Oh, you can see yourself when you on YouTube. And it was calling, but Alonzo, and I'm glad you brought the point. We never had these talks how to spend money and save some for a rainy day, and even have to have a life insurance to build on it and everything. And I
Right.
was gonna cop it. I was gonna cop it. Yo, let me tell y'all, I was seconds away getting to cop that. I got
Like, do you get it on cash or do you get it on credit? You know what I'm saying? Like, get it on credit and I just pay off on it. You know what I'm saying?
I had the
Well, here's
cash
why
on
I
me that
dislike
day.
credit. So here's the difficulty of credit,
Mhm.
right? And again, this is something that the wealthy are familiar with. OPM. So credit is not actually OPM, right? But a lot of people have you thinking it's OPM. What credit is literally leveraging your future work and future dollars. What do I mean when I say that? Let's say you got an 850 credit score, so you're only going to get a 4% interest rate. You still now have to work and earn $1.04 to pay me back the dollar that I loaned you. So all it is leveraging your future work. Now, if you do something like an it's infinite collateralization, not banking. But if you do the infinite banking concept, you would be borrowing from yourself. The reason they call it the infinite banking concept with life insurance is because here's the ill part. right? Let's look at big things, right? So let's say you need to go get a home renovation loan, and you got quote unquote equity in your house, right? Because that's what they're going to tell you to take the money from, right? Here's the problem. When you go qualify for a loan, what are some of the things that you have to prove to do? You have to either have collateral, which in this case would be the house, but you also have to show ability to pay the loan back, right? So this is why you'll see people do like reverse mortgages. Because at 65, when you're retired, you don't have the ability to pay the loan back. What if I told you there's a way you can go get that loan without having to qualify and without having to, and you wouldn't actually have to pay the loan back through your life insurance? The only caveat is that you have to start it soon enough and build enough cash value that, 10, 20, 30 years in the future, I want to renovate my house. I got $30,000 cash. Hey, let me take this $30,000 out of this life insurance, tax free. And if I decide to pay it back, I'll pay it back. If I decide not to pay it back, it'll just come out of the death benefit. So if my death benefit is $130,000, but I die and I didn't pay back the loan, the death benefit, my family still gets $100,000. But these are concepts that aren't taught to us. And then when they are taught to us, they're not done properly.
Yeah, see, that's the part of the game right there. I guess that's what I'm learning. That I'm venturing in right now to get that established or whatever. So like people say, leave stuff for your kids. You know what I'm saying? And for your kids. Not
Yeah.
just for your kids, but all the way down for your kids.
Yeah. So then there's things like ILITs, which is an irrevocable life insurance trust, right? But again, there's people who have their licenses who don't know this stuff even exists, right? I'll give you an example. A couple years ago, I was working with an agent from a state farm. She had been in this business for 27 years. A guy called up from an Allstate insurance agency and was asking if we did collateral assignments because Allstate doesn't sell life insurance anymore. So I was like, yeah, we could do a collateral assignment. So he wanted to do a $2 million collateral assignment. So she hangs up. She's like, hold on, we'll call you back. Why did you tell him we could do that? We don't even know if we could do that. What is that? I was like, the collateral assignment is just getting a life insurance policy and making the person who gave you the loan the beneficiary. But it sounds more complex than it is. Right? So she's freaking out like, wait, we can't do that. I'm like, yes, we can. All we got to do is, he took the loan out from, John Smith. He makes, $1 million of $2 million death benefit payable to John Smith. If he dies along the way or defaults on the loan, there's cash value in the life insurance policy to pay back on the loan. If he dies, it pays back the loan. If he lives, he cancels the policy and gets his money back. Where's the laws? That's how Walt Disney started Disney World. He borrowed $50,000 from his life insurance.
Right. And see that. So okay, down here in Atlanta, they got this thing. It's not not the scam, not the PPP scam. It's like real loan, and a couple of cats been getting it as far as 300,000 for this business and $250,000 for that business, and they getting approved for them and stuff like that. But the time frame to pay them off, you know what I'm saying, is like 15 years to pay it off or whatever. But you have to start paying on it in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that thing, right? Like I said to myself, you know what I'm saying, I want to play that game. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I guess it's a courage thing. Like I stand firm on my business. I believe I got good business, but I'm like, can I? You know what I'm saying? What is it beneficial to take on an extreme loan like that? You know what I'm saying? I feel only reason why I say it's extreme because I'm like $300,000. You know what I'm saying? But it's 2022, and 15 years from now, that $300,000 may be pennies. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Well, with inflation the way it is, it's definitely going to be. There was a test done actually 2020 that said if you put $100,000 away and left it till 2030, in 2030 that $100,000 has the spending power of 50,000, and that was at a 3% inflation, not this 9% we have now under Joe Biden.
dang. So really, like a lot of folks just losing money by having their money sit.
Yes. So
Dang.
right now there's almost nothing that's going to be inflation because inflation has never been this high. But you know, it's dangerous. It's tricky. That's why I
So
like
that
life.
the rich folk got to start spending then, cause they money ain't make it. If they, cause I thought the concept is your money's supposed to make you money,
Right.
and
So
inflation is saying is cutting into that making money.
yes.
I'm trying to understand.
So that's why you have things like the stock market to begin with. The stock market is not a place to go to get rich or gain wealth or gain riches. The stock market is where the wealthy go to preserve their capital. So, like I said, the average return is 10%, right? So what Warren Buffett is doing is he's putting that $100,000 into the stock market to make sure that in 10 years that $100,000 is still $100,000, not 50.
Okay,
That's
I
all,
got you.
right? Unfortunately, the average American is going, I'm gonna go in the stock market and get rich. That's not gonna happen.
Right.
You know. Now, yeah, don't get me wrong, you'll have, you know, your AMC and GameStops. And yes, you know, a couple of people will strike it big, but that's not they didn't invest, you know, $10,000. They put in, you know, 50, 60, $70,000, right? Um, to make it substantial, right?
Yeah.
$10,000 is just a crawling point. That's just entry, right? So then when we have, like, I had a family member of mine who was getting into Dogecoin, and I was like, yo, be careful about that. And he was like, yo, bro, I've been doing this since 2017. And I have to explain to him, I'm like, well, I have my license in this stuff. I said, that's just like since I moved out to Brooklyn, right? Because I have a cousin who's been cutting my hair since we was 16. He owns 2 barbershops. He has a barber license, right? I said, that's like, I've been cutting my hair since I moved out to Brooklyn on my own. But all I do is just cut it all off. But when I want this nice taper fade high and tight with the part that you see in this picture that I have, guess what I have to do? I have to go to a licensed professional.
Yeah, and invest in that
Because,
thing. Yeah.
yeah. So, you know, they're the new robo investors and all this. It's a good and a bad thing because it's giving people a false sense of, hey, I can do this too, which you can, but not to the level of the scale of those who it actually makes a difference. Just like with Bitcoin, if you're buying a fraction of a Bitcoin, right? Like, I don't know what Bitcoin is. Is it 20,000 now? If you don't own a whole Bitcoin at $20,000, then when Bitcoin goes to the moon and it goes from 20,000 to 100 million, because you put $20 in Bitcoin, you're not benefiting from it going from 20,000 to 100 million. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you are benefiting because now your $20 is 1,000, but you know, it's not really anything. It's a drop in the bucket in the grand scheme of things. So now, I'm not saying this to discourage anyone. If you're doing small things, keep doing it, right? And hopefully you'll grow to the point where, you know, it can make a difference. But a
Right. I
lot
get
of
what you're
this
saying.
stuff,
Like somebody in a routine, and their routine is helping them save, and best right stay with that routine.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, don't take what I'm saying as, oh my God, well, I might as well just not do it. No, don't don't stop. If you're doing something, do it, right? But just understand that, you know, what you're doing right now is dunking on a guy who happens to be 6'8", and you guys are at the Y. You're not dunking on LeBron James, right? And you know, if you got to a point where you're playing against LeBron James, you probably won't dunk on him, even though he's 6'8", 260 like the guy at the Y. Right? You know, the guy at the Y don't play basketball for a living. So, you know, a lot of these things, like, you know, there's a Quad A, which is the Association of African American Financial Advisors. There's, you know, the CAAFP, which is the Conference of African American Financial Professionals. There's the American College of Financial Services. So these are a lot of things, you know. There's the MDRT, which is $1 Million Round Table, which I almost qualified for 2 years ago, which is the top 1% of financial professionals across 70 countries. So when I speak, I do speak from a different dynamic position because I'm in position with a lot of these elite financial professionals, right? Which is why I call myself, again, the all-star advisor. And I equate my knowledge and obsession to basketball. Right? There's 3 players who came out of high school and went to the pros and played for the LA Lakers at the same time. Well, they played on the Lakers at the same time. They didn't all come from high school to the pros at the same time. Smush Parker, Lamar Odom, and Kobe Bryant all played for the Lakers simultaneously. However, when you look back at their careers, you look at Smush Parker, came from high school to the league, but he's a nobody. Right? That's what not the majority of people who get licensed as financial services professionals are, is Smush Parker. They were able to get the license, but that's it. Right? Then you've got people who are Lamar Odom. They were able to get the license, they had some talent, but you know, it just never went anywhere because they didn't really put in the effort. Then you've got Kobe Bryant. Amazing talent, amazing effort. He was obsessive. That's why you've got the Mamba mentality. So he knew more about the ins and outs of the game than most players do even today, which is why you got LeBron. LeBron is obsessed with basketball, in and out, right? Let's take LeBron and let's take Russell Westbrook, right? 2 totally different tiers. Everybody's saying Russ is on his downturn, and LeBron has been as great in 2023 as he was in 2003. Right? So, you know, that's why I kind of speak the way I do, because I've experienced some things. Let's look at things like the 1035 rollover, right? So, DJ Black Charm, I don't know if you own real estate or if anybody watching on the playback owns real estate. But we're in a 6% interest rate market for mortgages right now. So if you are selling a property, let's say it's a second property. So you're selling that investment property, right? They're going to tell you you need to do a 1031 exchange to avoid paying taxes, right? Are you familiar with the 1031 exchange?
Nah, I'm about to learn right now though.
Okay, so a 1031 exchange is a term in real estate. What that means is when you sell a property, generally an investment property, to avoid paying capital gains taxes, you need to either roll the proceeds into a property of equal or greater value. Generally, you're going to roll that money into a mortgage, right? So if you just came from a mortgage at 2%, when now mortgages are at 6%, almost 7%, you don't want to pay 7% for a house that you was just paying 2% for, right? Nobody wants to pay a higher interest rate. So then most people aren't going and getting mortgages now, right? When they sell a home and they're not doing 1031 exchanges. But they don't want to pay the taxes. So I actually have a client from YouTube that recently did this. He sold his house in New Jersey for almost $1 million. After everything was said and done, after he paid off the other $400,000 that was left on the mortgage, after he paid the real estate agent and all that, he had a little over $500,000 left. He would end up having to pay taxes on that. Or he could do a 1031 exchange. But he's like, well, I just came from a 2.75% interest mortgage. Mortgages are now at 5%. Why am I going to pay double interest on a mortgage for another 30 years? Screw that. I don't want to buy another house. So we did a 1035 exchange.
Mm.
What is that? That's when you roll the proceeds into another, either a insurance or retirement product. So we rolled over $500,000 into a retirement account. That, like I said, in 10 years, he's going to take that money, go to Colombia and buy a house. Cash. Right? Because he wants to move overseas. But you see how there's a strategy in place. And he avoided paying taxes on the sale of his house. And now he's got $500,000 tax free. He asked his accountant before we did it, he was like, hey, is this something I could do? His accountant was like, yeah, that's actually a great idea. He asked his accountant, why didn't you tell me that I could do this? To which I explained to him, because your accountant, your CPA, you only pay him for filing your taxes. You're not paying him for tax strategies. Now, if you pay him for tax strategies, he'll come up with some tax strategies for you. But see, this is why you have to be careful with even your financial professionals. Because the CPA gets paid for everything they do. So if they're keeping your books, they're literally just doing what they're paid for, which is to keep your books. They ain't going to help you save taxes or tax strategize. Now, if you're paying them to keep your books and file your taxes, they'll keep your books and file your taxes. Now, if you want them to keep your books, file your taxes, and minimize your tax liabilities, you have to pay them for that service. So this is why his CPA didn't teach him how to save money on taxes, because he was going to get paid either way, because he files your taxes every year.
That's good info, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good info, man. I ain't gonna even hold you, man. That's a blessing that I even, you know what I'm saying, came over here to I just happened to get with JT this morning to see what was going on. This is a blessing conversation right here, man.
Yeah, I'm glad to be having it, man. Everything happens for a reason, like JT said, man. You know, there's a reason you popped up here. There's a reason I popped up. There's a reason, you know, I got the email this morning.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
licensed in
basically,
Georgia, too.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you what I was gonna wait to do it technically tomorrow, because I never did the Underrated Man's Breakfast Fellowship live on the weekend. I was gonna do it, but I was talking to the miss, and she said, I was telling her, maybe I should. She said, "Why don't you just put it out there?" It was last minute. I was gonna put like 10:35. I said, nah, but that's like brunch. I said I want to keep it morning. And I did put out more emails to the men. I did. I must have put out like it's about maybe 10, 11. And whoever gonna show up and wherever it is, I just put a show up, and I'm glad that we having these conversations, because these conversations is needed, and to be empowered. That's what I'm saying. Whatever we talk about, I want us to be empowered. And right now, this these years, as brothers, families, especially our family and our community, this is crucial time for us. You know what I'm saying? So we need to be educated. Especially the holidays coming, how we spend our money, how we wise up with our money. I feel it's very important. The space should take it, but they don't want to take it on. I take it on, no problem. And I feel that we should do more of this, and hopefully we can. But people gotta be participation. It's gotta be
Yeah.
participation. It's gotta be participation. And any brothers have to go?
No,
Do y'all have some?
I'm here.
Oh, you
I
here?
had
Oh,
a
okay.
meeting, but I can, especially, man. Listen, this is y'all are around my age, so y'all know this is Glen Ross for me. Always be closing. So this is a bunch of free advertisement. Thank you, JT.
Hey, that's right. Hey, it's all about helping. You know what I mean? And if I can help somebody, It's great, and it's all right with me too. I hope people could subscribe. I hope people could say, "Hey, this is a well-rounded channel." JT, he got people up and talking about fire. He talking about this and that and everything. And I think it's very important that we gotta have more talks on this show. I know people's gonna like, we gotta talk. Listen, you gotta understand. Ever since that chump took office, the money is not flourishing of our people. Let me repeat that again. The money is not flourishing in our community. It's flourishing. Let me see. If other people look like us, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about people that surrounded by families, that surrounded by relationships, the man and woman relationships, married, or in a relationship, man and women. The money's not flourishing with us. We have to be honest. We have to be very, very clear on that. And it also is diminishing our family unit.
Mm.
It really is. I'm seeing it. Not blind. It's really diminishing our family. I'm talking about the nucleus of the family. It's really diminishing. And we need to talk about that because in the financial and everything, Brother Alonso Hall and also Brother DJ Black Charm and everything, we need to talk about that more. And we need to talk that more. They giving the money to the ones that are natural. Because they put them in the mind that they family. But for us that we believe in procreation, that for us that believes that the money need to stay in our community, and the health and assurance that Brother Alonzo Hall brilliantly break it down and stuff. These are that money is not going in there. That's why it is very, very essential that we gotta have Brother Alonso Hall in here. We gotta salute that. I'm not saying, this and that. Ain't that Alonso Hall don't talk about other phases. He don't talk about other phases too. But we gotta have him here because these are crucial times for our people. We gotta understand the money is not in the hands of the right ones in our community. They are pushing unnatural things for our kids, and even in social media. So brothers like me, Alonso Hall, DJ Black Charm, and others, that they don't want us to have a voice. And I am very, very, very firm on that. And some of your brothers, I'm not getting to the women because I'm dealing with women, no. But I'm telling your brothers here that in this space, you know exactly what's going on, and you refuse to talk about it. And you actually taking money from unnatural ones that don't believe in the nucleus of the family. Now I'm talking about the financial part. That's what I'm talking about. So you don't have no right to talk about the man and the woman relationship, the father and the son relationship, the mother and the daughter relationship, or the mother and the son relationship. Y'all don't have no right to say nothing because y'all totally against that. So that actually means that you're all about the evil Benjamins, if you know what I mean.
Man,
So,
even in that, the Bible says that a man of God leaves an inheritance to his children. And then we have guys in this space talking about the family, this, that, and the third. And I've done some consults with these guys. And they'll tell me, I'll do anything for my kids, this, that, and the third. I had one guy who, he was like, my son is X amount of years old. I want to have him with this much dollars by the time he's this. I set up the plan for him, and then he just ghosted. Now, I know he has the money because I've seen him on other panels since. And I've challenged him. And he's like, oh, man, I'm sorry, Lonzo, and And I said, listen, don't apologize to me. I said, we don't have any beef. I said, but you've got beef with your son. I said, because you're not doing what you said you wanted to do for him by setting up this plan for his future. So what you're setting him up to do is to be like you, crying on panels for 4 hours about the women that did him wrong and society that did him wrong, while his daddy, you, sat here and said you, as his daddy, want to make life easier for him so he don't have to deal with what you do. But yet you're paying $3,500 to go see Mr. Lucario to learn how to sleep with 2 white women at the same time. But you can't pay $100 a month or $1,200 a year towards making your son a millionaire by the time he's 25. So men have to learn how to prioritize in these spaces too. You know, one of the brothers who promotes me often in these spaces is Brother Sheed We Hear. And Brother Sheed We Hear is one of those gentlemen who said he wanted to do something for his sons, but he actually did it. He purchased a life insurance policy with me for his sons, not for them to die, but so that when they hit a certain age, he turns it over to them and says, hey, son, I put away a few $20,000, $30,000 for you. Every man within earshot of this, I want you to ask yourself, if your daddy, when you turned 25, popped up and was like, hey, here's 20 grand, son, would you not appreciate him for that? I think we all would, right? And, you know, like Brother Rahel, because I go over, you know, the Roger Report sometime. And, you know, I went in there and I was having my first brunch of wealth. Now I'm on my 8th. And Rahel was like, yo, y'all men, you know, one of the things that Roger will promote is crack $100,000. He said, well, Alonzo has his brunch and wealth. It's only an hour. Y'all be on these panels talking about what's wrong with the black woman for 4 hours. You can't take an hour out of your day to learn how to self-improve? Is the woman so bad that you can't learn how to get yourself right? Because last time I checked, when I called into Kevin Samuels, because he had an episode called Men, Are You Ready for Your High Value Wife? I'm already married. And I told Kevin Samuels, I fit the bill of a high value man except for the financial aspect, because I don't make more than $10,000 a month every month for the last 3 years. That's one of the requirements it takes to be a high value man. So Kevin Samuels said, you can't do that. You can't call up on my show and be high value homeless. Click. Men, we can't do that. You ain't in the club, bro. You ain't making $10,000 a month for the last 3 years. Sorry. I know you want to be in the club, but you're not. Right?
Right. I hear that and I'm like, damn. So the month that I make 10,000, I'm in the club. But the month that I make 6,500, then I ain't in the club no more. Then, you know, forget y'all. I say other words, but I be like, man, forget y'all. You know, I'm gonna start my own club. But you know, but I be understanding it though. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, the ups and you know, the terminology of high value. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the being consistent on that value, monthly, daily. You know what I'm saying? Consistent. You know, I get it. You know, but I disagree with it because it's like that consistency is hard as hell, man.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I work in 100% commission. That consistency is real hard. Like, you know, 2 years ago, I did 115,000. I ain't cracked that since. But, you know, it's a challenge, man. It's a challenge. But, you know, I think as men, we need to take that on, specifically black men. You know, I do see too many spaces where, you know, the conversation gets circular. And when we have these conversations on finance, it becomes very, very silent. You know, the guy, like I said, the guy who's my client, who is a passport bro, you know, we've gone on other people's channels, like we went on Ramil Amir's channel, right? Now they all know Marty McFly. But once we started
Man, I
talking,
like those guys, the passport bros. I like those guys.
yeah. But he you know, when we started talking, because what happened before he put the 500K away with me, he bought a life insurance retirement plan at $1,000 a month, right? This stuff ain't cheap, but it's not for a death benefit. He's putting a freaking pension together through life insurance, right? So he's only paying $1,000 a month for 10 years, right? So 120,000, right? So these are investments, not just a death benefit. But again, Dave Ramsey has taught most Americans that it's just a death benefit. You know, Dave Ramsey's largest holding is a cash value life insurance policy, DJ Black John?
Nah, I ain't know that.
Yeah. Now, we asked him, and in fact, hold on, I'm going to go to my YouTube and find the video and then post the video in the back chat for you to be able to watch. Hold on. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, man, it's a great conversation.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna copy that video down when he come back, but I gotta get ready get off because I got some clients about to pull up on me. And it, you know,
Okay, I'll make your last remarks
I'm really
then.
enjoying this conversation, man, about finances. And I think you should have like the morning conversation at least. You know what I'm saying? That stay down on it, because that's something that for me, I don't know about everybody else, but that's something like I feel like that's the place, that's the space we need to be in. You know what I'm saying? The conversation of economics. And the reason why, JT, because we could talk about reparations or somebody giving us something, and we can also talk about simultaneously building ourselves, you know what I'm saying, building our own wealth, and you know what I'm saying, as a community, and being able to enjoy the fruits of our labor via our on our own time, as far as our investments concerned.
Yeah, but people gotta come. They gotta come support.
Yo, they gonna come, because this conversation right here, I believe this conversation right here is a good conversation to have. I think. Okay, so let's see. Right now, say maybe like 3 people watching.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, I saw up to 11 people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, we were saying something
mm-hmm.
good. Something good was saying. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they come to see you. You know what I'm saying? Salute you and smash a like, but they stay for a while. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
they come. That's true, but I want people to engage too. You
right,
hear what I'm
right.
saying?
Right.
It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense
So
to set it up and then people don't engage.
now the people the people that's gonna be opposed to what Alonzo's saying, oh, they coming the next time because they want to. That finance conversation is a debatable conversation. You know what I'm saying? For me, I'll stay in the seat of a student. You know what I'm saying? But for those who feel like, you know what I'm saying, that he may have made a misstep, or he may be giving the game for free, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Those people coming. They will come.
See, the thing about in this space that what we missing out is being diverse.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want, especially I'm talking about. I don't want to talk about women now. I'm talking about us men. That's why, Brother Alonzo, DJ Black Charm, he know me for a long time. My channel always, I do talk about money, but not as because they was not talking like as you break it down. But my channel always been diverse.
Mm-hmm.
My thing always been because most of the things I've been through it, but at the same time I'm willing to learn too. And I'm not talking about women, I'm talking about men. These men, they don't want to engage of anything that deals with us as men. We go talk about women. So I want to know: are you dried up?
I'll
Right.
put the video in the back chat for you, Black.
Yeah, DJ, but so you can catch on
Right.
right
And,
there.
and see, and see, I think in that space right there, I think that a lot of those people who find themselves in gender war, religious war, whatever, they in uncomfortable spaces in their life. For me, you know what I'm saying? I've come to terms with who I am. I believe in God, and you know what I'm saying. I
Me
believe
too.
in working, and you know what I'm saying. So I've come to terms with those things. So now I'm on a whole nother space in life, and the space I'm in life now is like what you was talking about, JT. How do we go about spending? What do we do about our life insurance? What do we, you know what I'm saying? That's the
Health
space as a
insurance.
man. Our health insurance. You know what I'm saying? As men, you know what I'm saying? How often we go to the doctor? Do we work
I,
out? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and
why are we in those spaces of?
right.
Because you know, I had to lean back onto how I grew up. I grew up with a great grandfather that said, "Get off and over there with all them girls, boy. Come on over here." You know what I'm saying? I grew up with that great granddaddy. You know what I'm saying? You like so, and it was an understanding of let them women do it, them, and you come over here and learn what men do.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and I'm still
yeah.
learning what you know. Even pushing 50, I'm still learning what a man do, so I can show
Yeah.
my son and so on, and my grandchildren. You know,
And see, brother Alonso, you remember we had this talk, 'cause we had this talk around my birthday, June 4th. I'm talking about health insurance. How you know how what by throughout the years, they are the health field is declining health insurance for a black man. That
Yeah,
I don't care what age or it used to be like you in the 50s, they deny, but they denying health insurance to the black man. So you know what that means? That means I gotta do my due diligence, do my studying, do my investigating, and premiums. Even like I don't care. See, there's some black men. Oh, I can get a good premium where I'm gonna have a family. It doesn't make a difference. You black, you get discriminated. They even have laws in certain parts of the country that they have the right to hype in your premiums and all like the free dental and stuff. You think it was free dental? No, it's not free. You still pay. You still have to come out your pocket. But I did my due diligence, and I found something that is good for me. But to see, we don't want to talk about that. They are certain part like in Virginia. Do you know if a black man get health insurance, they go by zip code or county you live in? Think about that, y'all. How scary it is. They go by zip code or what county that you live in. And I know it's not just happening
yeah,
in
because if
Virginia.
you're in a high crime area, you know that you subject and I think that's prejudice. You know what I'm saying? That
It's worse, but it's worse than that, DJ Black Chong. It's worse than that. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. I went to I was in Blue Shields. This is about a few years ago. And they told me, oh yeah, I'm in Newport News, Virginia. Oh yeah, you Newport News, yeah. But you got an office in Newport. We don't have no transport right there. But you're paid by federal government, right? Yeah, but um, it takes money. I said, okay. So you're robbing people, right? So you're trying to say that you don't you don't think black men exist, right? So that means okay, I get it. But see, I asked them hard questions. What I said, what's your service is serving our community? And trust me, if you have a young black boy, I'm not saying young black girls don't get discriminated. So let me say that they do, but especially if you have a young black boy, man, they take you to the ring as ready as blood, and that's why go into Brother Alonso Hall finance and health life insurance and health insurance goes hand in hand because you gotta know what you read of. You got to be real careful how they sketch it out because you I'm telling you. So the health insurance I got right now, I caught that on a humble, and I said okay. And even there are brothers that are on disability. You better learn. You better learn how to how to look at these health insurance too.
Yeah, for that, if you're on disability, you definitely want to go to SSA.gov, the Social Security Administration, and read up on, your rights and stuff on disability, because there's a lot of stuff like you were asking, Underrated, and that's why I said, a lot of states with disability, they require a lot of people to receive it to be completely impoverished, but you don't have to be in poverty in order to receive disability and stuff. So you can still make investments, you can still have stuff, but especially for a lot of black folk, they'd be like, no, you can't have nothing. Like, they won't let you even get like a whole life insurance policy because there's cash attached to it. So they want you to have nothing.
Yeah. And so by me do my investigate due diligence, I find me a good one. And I'm gonna tell you something. Them other all right, thank you. Appreciate you, DJ Black
All
Charm.
right, brother, salute.
And so yeah, then what happened, it ain't like it. Sometimes I'm click. Ah, you saw I was coming. Somebody they must have known where I was coming. So we got to talk about stuff like that. We got to talk about the legislation. Every legislation is different, yeah. But I'm talking about as a black man, just understand they're not gonna give you the service that you need to. No matter you on disability, and no matter you're not, they not gonna do it in the health field. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Brothers could tell you they want to. Oh yeah, this and that and everything. Look at the premiums. Tell them to send you the book. I said I need a
Yeah,
book. Send me the book. If you want me to join your health insurance, send me a book. And that's what that's the one I was on. I sent me a book. They sent me within the day, and they called up, and I went through. I said, "Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, you qualify for this. You qualify for that. Do you have kids? No, I don't have. That's good. If you had kids, they're all right. You. Then at the same time, how about if you're sick and everything? I mean, how about you have you know, you don't have no money. I mean, you have a car, your car out of commission. You want to get to the doctor, right? Yeah, they find out that they pay for your transportation because you can get certain amount of rides out the year, and there are some that can carry over too.
mm-hmm.
Like mine's carry up. Mine, I think mine's going to carry over because I did about about 11 more than 5. So mine's going to carry on and everything. So you gotta think of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then to hop out, you want to check out certain things, and you gotta have that ride. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be tired. You know what I'm saying? And to hop out the buses, sometimes the buses break down. You gotta think of stuff like that, black man. You gotta think of stuff like that. You want to pay that ride. You don't have to worry about coming out your pocket.
Yeah,
Pharmacy, your pharmaceutical. You gotta understand that too.
big time.
That's all I'm saying. You got to investigate because they want us to like Bud Diaz once said they want us to die early. Let me tell you, he told me the limit of black man to live is 55. Brother
Mm,
Alonzo Hall, I'm 56.
mm,
I'm 56
yeah.
because 10 years ago it was 59.
Wow. Well, yeah, there's a lot of dudes my age dropping dead from heart attacks.
Yeah.
41, boom, heart attack. At 41, do you know how young that is? I used to think
Yeah.
40 was old. Now I'm like, what? 41 is so young. You know, you got
It's
at
young.
least another 25 years of doing stuff
Right, but see,
on a high level.
yeah, but Alonzo Hall, you married, right? I know you're married, right?
Yeah.
But see, this is the thing about it. See, these brothers saying that getting married and being in a relationship is not good. How the hell you can say that? What the fuck is wrong with y'all? What is wrong? See, I'm with the miss. Y'all see me travel with the miss. I'm living my life with the miss. And it's good. Do we have our fault? Yeah, we do, but I'm just saying that Live your life, but there you go. See, that's what I'm doing. And you tell my sister that I said hi. That's a beautiful cover right there. Live your life, brothers. Don't listen to these fools. It doesn't take a lot it doesn't take a lot to travel. And that's why we need Alonzo Hall too, because he can help us sketch out. Hey, you put some money up, budget. You can go somewhere. You can go someplace. You can catch some deals. But y'all ain't trying to see it underrated talking about. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. While y'all talking about women all the time, when you're talking about, now I'm not saying there's certain injustices that deal with us as black men. Yes, we gotta address that loud and clear. But you talk about women all the time. And it's not getting us nowhere. We are dying, brothers. Brother Alonzo Hall said they know somebody died at 40. Do you understand what I'm saying? There even brothers dying heart attack even in their 30s.
Shoot, I'm one of them. I got high blood pressure. I'm on 3 high blood pressure medications.
Brother Hall, I'm gonna do you a solid. I want you to go. Let me go to here. I want you to go to this. I'm gonna put this channel in the chat. I'm gonna put it. Let me find it. Oh my goodness. Okay. I want you. Oh shoot. Okay. What I want you to do. I'm gonna put you onto this channel. It's fourth quarter talk. Okay.
Oh, I'm familiar with fourth quarter talk. Yeah.
Okay. You are you subscribed to it?
Yes.
Okay.
He
This
got
is
some good stuff. He
yes.
actually helped me some of the stuff with my stomach.
There you go. This is what I want you to do. I want every Friday he goes on 6 or 05. And I'm saying it helps me a lot. Because sometimes I do be on the panel sometimes. I haven't been on that often, but you go there, I'm telling you and your wife owe it to yourselves. Go to that channel, get all the information. He talk about health and fitness, anything you want to ask, ask him for his email, and you talk. I'm telling you, a lot of brothers in here is not taking advantage. Brother BMT, he tell you about him.
Yeah.
I talk about him. Yeah. But then that's another channel that we need to big up to besides yours. But again, we don't big up these channels. Go Professor's another one, Brother Sheed. Yeah.
That'll even help because with stuff like insurance, you pay for that with your health, not with money. I'll give you an example. The same client of mine who paid $1,000 a month, we applied for a certain amount, and when they came back with his health results, they was like, "Oh man, this guy's in good health," and the multi-billion-dollar insurance company offered him double the death benefit. So this is like saying I'm gambling, and I find out something about what I'm gambling on that I double my bet. Right? So they was like, well, we're gonna get. I don't know the exact number, but let's say it was 200,000 that we applied for. And then when they came back with his health, they were like, oh, it's so good, we'll give him 400,000 for the same price. So they just doubled the money that they willing to give this man because his health was so good. Right? So, the health is very important.
Yeah, and we got to talk about that and stuff like that. But yeah, that's not good. See, and brother, and he taking 4 types of. Say that again. What prescription you taking?
3. I take 3 high blood pressure meds. 1 a day. Oh well, once a day. 3 pills once a day. Because my blood pressure is just crazy high. Luckily, actually, since it's actually been back to normal since I've been taking my medicine regularly. So now, but my blood pressure was like 200 over 120. Like it was high.
That's not good. That's not good, bro. That's not good. So I know that you got a demanding profession, But I'm saying to you, you have to switch it up, bro. It was called to me. Let me tell you, I went to the doctor last year. My check was close to that. I was walking in. I didn't even know. But I start eating more vegetables. See, for me, a little trouble. I ain't gonna lie. I love sweets. You know what I'm saying? I like a soda. I do. You see, I make my drinks. I
Mm-hmm.
like stuff like that. But I have to understand to be more disciplined to drink water and smoothies. I don't care about smoothies. But they said there are some that are tasty and stuff like that. So you got to, again, like you talking about invest. So that means you got to invest in a machine that do smoothies. But see, this is the thing about that, people not making no excuses, that not all of us could afford a machine this way, and that's why Bud Alonso Hall comes into the picture. We got to know about deals. You know what I mean? Like, we got to really network about how we can save. Like, hey, I want to do smoothies and stuff. Hey, hey, I know you see it on $100. I know you can get it for 45. But maybe I don't
Mm-hmm.
have no five. I don't have no 45. That's when the cash. Listen, man, I'm trying to get better myself in everything. Hook me a whole brother with some more coins here and there. And then what you do when you get it, you get back on live and you show what the people have put in.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes, like when I cook, people say, I see what you're doing. I sometimes show them. I didn't do that in a long time. I show them receipts. See what you give me. This is goes to it. Because when they put it, it goes right back to the channel.
Yeah.
But to some don't understand, but we want to pay for nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see anybody they come to your channel or come to my channel, but Alonso Hall, and say, you know what, I'm gonna help these brothers out because these brothers, I know what they talking about. They put the money in their mouths, no.
Mm-hmm.
But let me talk about Alonzo Hall. Let me talk about his wife. Let me talk about clean, 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 clean. I guarantee probably be 10, 11 people in the chat. You know that I know. Might be more than that. Oh, that motherfucker finance, he ain't shit. Fuck him. He don't know the fuck he robbing y'all. 20 people in the chat. But
Yeah.
Steve, I'm not doing that. No, that means I'm selling out my soul, and I'm not selling out. My masculinity is not for sale. My existence not for sale. And I'm just letting you know, things could change in the space, but I'm just saying like this though. One way or the other, you gotta come back to us. And I hope we are being merciful to take you back and to give you the tools to be successful, to be healthy, to be financially, to be happy. Because that's the thing that us as black men, we want to really be happy. You see, put the picture up one more time with you and your wife Alonso. I want people to see it before we close out. You see that? That's happy, right? You
Yeah,
see,
man.
there you go. That's happy. That's what we should strive for. See, I love stuff like that. That gets you going. See, that gets you going. There's no such thing, black love. Look at that. That's happy. See, because you know what? Because they got each other.
Mm-hmm.
But I find out. Well, so I'm gonna say a few more things. I want you to close it out and everything. But you know what happened? These brothers don't like stuff because they playing craps with their own nuts. I have to understand. They do. I really do. I think you're playing craps with your own nuts because you're scared. You're scared to fall in love. You're scared of somebody. You're scared that woman gonna be your helper. You scared, you're playing with yourself. I really believe that. You're dried up and everything. But see, bro. But y'all don't want to hear what the underrated dog is talking about. Y'all don't hear what no one grind to talk about. Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes men, a good woman can bring out your purpose. Do you agree on that, brother?
Oh, I absolutely agree. And then even further is you guys can complement each other, right? You know, I work in finance. Well, my wife is an accountant.
Mm.
So
Wow.
it kind of
Wow.
goes hand in hand,
Bro,
right?
Lonzo Hall, after we do the chop up, let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you, and you ask your wife. Is it possible after that I could do a chop up, a special chop with you and your wife?
Um, my wife doesn't really like to come on social media.
Okay,
Yeah, she really don't like to be involved in none of that stuff. But I
gotcha.
mean,
Okay,
I can see, yeah. Um, you know,
okay,
I don't mind. But I'll ask
okay.
if she's willing to do so.
Yeah, but
Uh,
if not, tell her I respect that. But
yeah.
I just want people to understand this is happiness right here, y'all. What's wrong to strive for that? What is wrong? Like he said, to compliment each other. What is
See,
wrong? And then I would say to women, what's wrong with that picture? What's wrong with that in the space? What is wrong to have a smile on your face when you lay in the bed with somebody and that person look at you? I got you. It goes a man or woman. I got you. Don't even worry about it.
mm,
Or you go a hard day like the Miss. Right? Me and the Miss, we don't live together. But she called me, said, "You all right? I see you on the thing, you know. Now I'm all right. You sure now? Now I give you case in point, right? When and let me see. It was like around August. It makes a year that my brother passed. And I was hurting. You know, she got in the car and came to my house that morning.
wow.
She said, "Baby, I heard in your voice." And I said, "No, no, don't do it." I said, "I don't want you to come. You can come that day." You know, I said, "No, I'm on my way. Be quiet." And I'm telling you, at that moment, I usually pick her up, you know, outside and everything. And I picked up and everything, and all of a sudden I just broke down and said, "It's okay. I'm right here."
Hmm.
And I was like in the house, and I was like feel embarrassed and all like that. I said, "Baby, don't need to be embarrassed. That was your advocate, you know."
Hmm.
And at the time, I wasn't talking to my niece. Now my niece talking right now, and and it's all good. But you need that woman to understand your vision, yo. You need it, and it was hard. You know what I'm saying? Live by yourself. It's not. People think it's easy. It's not easy, y'all.
Mm-mm.
Because everything is on you.
Hmm.
When that rent's gotta be paid, I'm sick. I gotta get up and make it happen. When I do food shopping, I gotta get up and make it happen. It's not easy. It's not. And people think, "Oh, it's not easy." Yeah, I'm with the miss. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, she leaves. When I see her again, it's
Well,
on me.
when I hear a lot of these guys talking about what their danger of the woman is that they think she's going to suddenly switch up and take them for half of their stuff. But my problem is that half of what? When statistics show, specifically black men, you know, when the average salary of a man in this country is only 50,000, and then the
Mhm,
average salary of a black man is 42,000, right? So take
mhm.
half of what? Like
Right,
we have nothing to take half of, right? So, you know, even then,
mhm,
we can be setting ourselves up to have something to have half of taken of because we don't have anything. And
right,
as a collective, right?
yeah.
Um, like you said though, JT, is that happiness or that having somebody there who can hold you down, right? For example, if you sick and you want to eat, who do you have to ask, hey, can you cook something up for me? You
Right.
you gotta ask you.
Right,
Right?
and listen, I'm saying that people understand, man. You know, stop preaching like it's all good to live by yourself. You know, stop. I'm talking to men. I'm not talking about women. This is a man's talk. I'm going to stick to men. Stop talking like that. Stop talking like that. When you go to the doctor's appointment, you go to. How about you want to get your philosophy to be checking out?
Mm,
Who he gonna ask? You got to get it done.
Yeah.
Who you going to ask? You can't trust nobody. And then you got family members, they into their own thing. See, these are the things y'all men get better consider, and even women too. I'm gonna say women too. This one time, you better consider that. You know what I'm saying? Because it does happen. You got to get things checked out.
Yeah.
How about you in the hospital? There's no this is like you how your friends and your family not around. They don't really want to be bothered with you. So and then if you're not married, you know what I'm saying? That makes it harder. So that means you cannot have her because you're not married and stuff like that too. And that comes in the picture. But I mean, she's there for support. Don't get me wrong. She is there for support and everything. But I'm just saying that
Yo, you
brothers
know how many men I've seen end up dying alone in the nursing home? I tend to see
sad.
more men there than women.
Yeah.
Alone, at least. My uncle, he he was a big time gangster back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
and he had kids and everything. But when he ended up, they took a hit on him, and they threw him out of a 4-story window and ran him over with a car, left him for dead. And we thought, he thought he was gonna die, but he ended up living about another 40 years as a quadriplegic or a paraplegic. So he ain't have no use of none of his legs or nothing. And when it came time to it, his 4 kids, ain't none of them come to see him because they didn't have any, care for him. But I'm gonna get ready to hop off, JT. So
Yeah, make it last one. Yeah, make it last one, Moss, and I'm gonna close it out too. I'm ready to close it out myself.
Once again, thank you, JT, for having this.
You're welcome.
I think I may go live as well just to address the men because, especially Black America, Black men, we gotta step it up because what happens is productive men like myself, we end up getting frowned upon in the business world, and it makes life difficult for us, right? And what we got to do is now these quote unquote what we call Pookie and Ray Rays, which I don't like that term because I was quote unquote a Pookie and Ray Ray.
Right.
But when we ostracize them, then we as men, the productive ones, got to do something about it. So let's stop belly aching and let's start acting. Let's be more proactive than reactive. And with that, I'm gonna get going. Salute.
Salute. Thank you. Appreciate that. And also, I'm gonna close this out. Tonight, I'm gonna do a chopper with the lovely Mrs. Molina. That's gonna be 9:35 Eastern Standard Time. So watch out for that. Salute to you, Sister Ten Vels. Keep up the good work. Keep on informing us. Salute to you, Alonzo Hall. Thank you so much for always blessing us with that. And me and Alonzo Hall, DJ Charm, we gonna talk about how to spend money on the holidays. So it's gonna come from the men. I'm gonna do a special underrated. I don't know. It's gonna be on the underrated men's breakfast fellowship block or the men's or the underrated men's block. I don't know yet. It's gonna be either one of them. Then after that, we're gonna branch out to the people. Then the men and women can get involved with that. So, but I'm gonna talk to a lot of whole about it and stuff like that. But it's gonna be soon because the holidays is approaching, and we need to learn how to spend our money to save our money, and we gotta have those talks, family. We gotta have these talks. Gotta have these talks. So watch out for that too. But again, 9:35 Eastern Standard Time tonight. I will chop it up with Miss Molina, 9:35. Miss. I'll holler at you later. I know you watching somewhere ready to smack me in my head. But thanks for everybody in the chat that check in and check us out. I just greatly appreciate it. And just understand this. You're never too late to learn. But when you learn it, be a better you. Men, I know women have hurt you. And I know that women get away and murder. And I know how the system is. I get it, and you absolutely right. But fix yourself first, black man. Fix yourself first. And trust and believe God will take care of her. Trust and believe. God will take care of her and you live your life. I'm to anybody, I tell you, learn from me. Learn from me. Hey, you can want to pull it up. June 1st, 2012. That's the title. It's on this channel. Pull it up. And I'm here right now. Go through struggles, yeah. We all imperfect. We're gonna go through struggles. Trials, tribulation, yes. But look at me. I'm a warrior, man. I'm a well-rounded warrior. You know? A worldwide warrior can't be stopped. Yeah, don't knock me down. Get yourself up. Polish yourself as a black man. Polish your character. Stop settling for less. Stop listening to other people. Other people don't know what they're talking about. Write your own destiny. And it doesn't take a lot to do that. Write your own destiny. Start from yourself. And see what it is. And turn away from it. If people don't believe in you, you don't need them. Believe in yourself. Because when you believe in yourself, I'm telling you, your vision get clearer and your fit to listening tune up. And you're going to see of the BS how some of these toxic men and some of these toxic women is. And then you're going to take the necessary steps to be in the happiness space. That's what it is, black man. We got to be in this happiness space. But you cannot be in the happiness space when you are uptight. When you talk about women all the time, when you talk about other things that is not being benefit to our people. If you got a good information come up, update it. Stop talking about the same thing like 20, 30, 40 years ago. Update it. How we can build on it right now. But see, some of y'all don't want to hear what I'm talking about because I don't know what I'm talking about. But I know exactly what I'm talking about because I have a life experience to back it up. And I had good people like Alonzo Hall came and good people like Brother DJ Black Charm and others. I had people in the chat. That lets me know that I knows what I'm talking about. And they respect what I bring to the table. Just as I respect what they bring to the table. And even the ones in the chat. The only way, up to us black men, the only way we gotta fix ourselves. And also check out She Stay Sleep TV. Check out brother. I'm talking about the brothers. Check out brother Go Professor. Check out brother She We Here. Check out 4 Quarter Talk. Check out me. I say it again. Check out brother Lonzo Hall too. Yo, check out Big Rooster. Check out some brothers. There's some good brothers in here that inspiring. But we gotta support them. And other BS got to go. The other BS got to go. But thank y'all again. Thank you so much. Shout out to everybody today, to your families. Again, I would chop Miss Melina will chop it up with me on the Darkness Roundtable tonight, 9:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's be good to each other. Let's show the world that we can build. It's all about us as black men. Now I hope that this could be encouragement. But if not, you gotta deal with the coldness. deal with the light. Deal with the light. What's good? Deserve it. Fight for it. The best you can. You would get it. Because I had to fight for it. 9:35 tonight, y'all. Be back. Good afternoon. This one is Ghost. Get Ghost.